want to welcome everybody to Unconventional Wisdom, the CSE Investment broadcast. And we've got a jam-packed good day today, all kinds of national events, celebrations, and also a big hurricane heading toward the North Carolina, South Carolina, that part of the country. And so the anniversary of the big crash back in 2008. We'll cover that here in a minute. A couple other things. Usually I don't quote Buffett very often. However, Buffett's becoming more like me. He was asked on CNBC's show yesterday, I guess it was, about if he thought there would be another. Let me get the screen up here so I can get this to you right. I'll just read this. It says Buffett was asked by CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin if he's worried about another crisis will happen. And Buffett said, well, there will be one sometimes. Buffett said in an interview for CNBC, crisis on Wall Street. This marks the 10th anniversary of the Lehman Brothers bankruptcy. And that was on the 15th of this month. It says Oracle of Omaha explained another bubble is unavoidable due to human nature, jealousy, and greed. This part I love. In quotes, people start being interested in something because it's going up, not because they understand it or anything else. But the guy next door, who they know is dumber than they are, is getting rich and they aren't, he said. And then their spouse is saying, can't you figure it out too? It is so contagious. So that's the permanent part of the system. So what he's saying is what something like I would say, your neighbor's dumb, and so don't follow him. But the other interesting thing was, and I thought about this today when I was listening to Cezanne and Joni's seminar, their enthusiasm for cell phones and for iPhones. Back when that calamity was happening 10 years ago, Buffett was traveling with his daughter. She was driving, and he got a call from these guys at the Fed, and they wanted to talk to him if he could save Lehman. And he said, well, what details can you give me? And they said, well, it's just going to cost a lot, but we'll get it to you. We'll fax it to you where you stay. And so he gave him this hotel he was staying at, and he never got a fax. He never got a fax. He went down to the front desk twice and asked if a fax had come in. And so he just forgot about it. And later on, the guys at the Fed couldn't find a fax machine. I mean, this is really crazy. At the Fed, they couldn't find a fax machine. And so the next day, Warren's in his car with his daughter driving, and he was kind of relating this story. And he said that he had told him, if you have problem faxing, just send me a message on my phone. And they gave him his phone number, cell phone number. And so they were driving along, and his daughter asked him if he ever got a message. He says, no, I never got a message on my phone. So she took the phone because she knew he wasn't real good with it. And she looked at it and he had a message. It was from the Fed. And they outlined the whole deal. So the whole debacle could have not happened had he been more, accustomed to using his phone. So, I thought that was kind of funny. Got some good returns. Our captive client, John, has some good returns. John, why don't you kind of go through the email we received today and explain your deals, plus the one you just did today, which was fantastic.
Well, the latest one I just did this morning, right as the market opened. I guess I got in about 8:32 and got out about 33 to 36. But it made 14.81% on an Apple trade call. And then last Monday, I got into what turned out to be momentum trades because they didn't close right away. So therefore, it becomes a momentum trade. But got out at 4.84% on the first one and 12.77 on the second. Tuesday, he got back into the micro moments, so I made 25% on one trade there, but that took about 38 minutes. And then yesterday went into a loss real quickly, so I took a 4.68% loss on one, learning what you told me last week.
Exactly. And look how the week ended up. Fantastic.
And another 21% a little after that. So the week was 59.02 and 5 trades. 4 of those were profitable, so about 11.8% if you divide them by 5, and because I count the losses in there. Plus this morning another 14%, so that's 73%, I guess, for the week. So I can live with that. That's
fantastic. Those are great returns. We have an interesting occurrence happening right now for those online. We have Keith is joining us, but Keith is, you're never supposed to text or talk on your phone when you're driving. Well, Keith is a rebel, and if you look, he's got a good image there, really good coloring and background and everything. But he's driving his car, so I hope he didn't get stopped. Although I do see the red lights out the back window, and because it'll be a first where somebody's conducting a seminar while they're driving. Keith, go ahead and bring us.
No, I'm parked in a parking lot, so we're good to go here, Joe.
You told us you were driving with your feet.
Yeah. Anyway, I've had a good week, Joe. Did an iron condor last week that closed out in one day for a 2% gain on Friday, and opened a CSM trade, a momentum trade yesterday. Day before on Tuesday, and closed it out yesterday for a 7% gain. So I've had a good week.
That's fantastic. I feel like what's that show on TV? Something about the cab. They got the cab driver and they got customers he picks up, and they don't know they're on TV and carrying on these conversations with them in the cab. Yeah, I feel like when you're driving, doing the seminar, it's sort of like that. Dirk, did you get your mic working?
I did.
There you go. Hey,
it wasn't my mic; it was my speakers. I could talk, but I couldn't hear anything. But after a couple of reboots, I got it worked out.
Okay. Cezanne asked you about your beard earlier.
Asked me about my what?
She asked you about your beard. That you were growing it back.
Oh, yeah, I probably will.
Yeah.
I usually grow it in November for that no shave November thing. So I'll probably do it then.
And winter's coming up too.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a record, try and beat last year's.
Okay. Cezanne and Joni, what have y'all done today? Anything?
Hey. Yeah, I was talking to work and I was muted and I didn't realize it.
Look like Joni tried to get into a deal.
I tried, but we had a big gap up in the Qs, which is an exchange traded fund that I trade, gapped up over $2 today. And so in those gaps up, it's hard to find that sweet spot. So today we didn't have a trade, but we learned what not to do. So there's that.
Well, that's good. That's what John has been learning too. He's just getting so good, so good.
He's a great trader.
Yeah.
Apple's been a little bit all over the place the last few days because of this new phone that's apparently coming out. Mm-hmm. So we haven't done anything with that, but it's been having some crazy moves. Mm-hmm. So we'll go into next week, hopefully, with it a little more stable.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Why don't you tell the people that listen, because we have new listeners, what y'all do in the service that you offer and how they can participate in it.
Okay. We first we conduct about every quarter we have a 1 day in the market all day seminar, which our next one is October the 1st, a Monday. And we use the live market to analyze charts and teach our indicators and how we use the charts to identify exhaustion in an equity and potential upward or downward momentum before it occurs coming out of this exhaustion based on what the indicators are telling us. So we teach, it's basically like teaching you how to read a roadmap. So then you can apply it to whatever equity you're trading. You can put your equity in the system and analyze the chart yourself. So then on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have, on Monday and Wednesday, we have abbreviated webinars, about 20 to 30 minutes in length, where we sort of analyze the pre-market, look at certain equities and how they're trading up or down, and identify points of support and resistance based on our charts, where potential trades might be set up between those points. And then on Thursday, we have a full-length webinar, which we take questions, we take emails and comments from the clients and read out trade reports and spend a little more time analyzing the charts as well.
Okay, great. And people can subscribe to that service. In fact, I think they get 1 week or 2 weeks free, and then they can decide if it's going to work for them, and they can go forward. Go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com, and you can find out what all these folks do, the various techniques, including Keith Brandy, who's not on here today. I guess he hurt his other foot sliding into base like he did last week. But You can see what's going on at CSE. You can see all the programs we have. You can subscribe to the Cal Report, which is free. It's going into its 20th year, the 1st of January. And you can get all this information. You can see all the questions people ask, what kind of returns they're making, just all kinds of stuff that you can do. And it's a good site, and you need to do that. CompoundStockEarnings.com. If you want to call in to the show today or anytime on Thursdays, 10 o'clock when we do the show, the number is 214-377-1108. 214-377-1108. Or you can send an email to podcast@compoundstockearnings.com. If you send an email podcast, compoundstockearnings.com, we get it during the show. Whoever his territory it is, we'll have them address it.
Hey, Joe?
Yes, sir.
I believe we have a caller on right now.
Oh, fantastic. Good deal. Let's put them on.
Yes, caller?
Yeah. Hi, Joe. It's Barbara Bailey.
Hey, Barbara Bailey.
For what, 13, 15 years?
It's been a long time. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I am now in my 4th day of retirement.
4th day of retirement. How about that? Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been working with your people, your local people, and getting all the transfer of the emails and things like that from the office computer to the personal computer. So they've been very helpful. I wanted you to know that.
Well, so how have you been doing all these years?
I've been doing well. I've been very busy. I was the international portfolio manager for a very large bank, and I had offices around the globe.
It wasn't Wells Fargo, was it? It wasn't Wells Fargo. It wasn't Wells Fargo, was it?
It was Wells Fargo.
It was Wells Fargo, really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, I've been on a tirade about Wells Fargo. I'm glad you finally got out of there.
Yeah.
Why you hate?
Hey, listen. I was always very proud, and
Okay.
I was so shocked to hear that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that is not, and honestly, Joe, that is not part of the Wells Fargo culture. That is a culture that we acquired or acquired us. So,
Bank of America.
That's all I can say about it.
Okay. Well, good. So, how's your personal trading been going? And which techniques are you using? How's your personal trading been going?
Keep it simple. I pretty much keep it simple. I just do the regular trades, the calls, and obviously I do have to manage some of them, but I can make when I do my investments, I can make a 3 to 5% a month. I think that's a fairly safe number. I have signed up for credit.
That's over 60% a year, uncompounded. Over 60% a year, uncompounded. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And the people in my old office, I've been talking to them about it, and they want me to do some training for them. But I better check in with you first.
Okay. Well, excuse me, that's fantastic. Excuse me.
Yeah.
How long you been using our techniques now?
I took the first class with you in San Diego. I think it was 2007.
Golly. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember when we did that in San Diego. It was during the week, I think. It wasn't on the weekend, wasn't it? Or was it on the weekend?
I don't remember. It was, but I remember when I was reading the book, I thought, oh, this is so darn clever. That it was just, but managing it, and I don't have to spend a lot of time doing it, Joe. Yeah. I had my own computer at work, and I used to look at it for about half an hour a day, and then no, I didn't spend all day looking at the computer. That was for sure.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: after all these years, have you discovered how much smoother things have gotten? It really necessarily didn't have anything to do with CSE, but the CBOE. Now they have the weeklies. I know you're doing the monthlies, but they have the weeklies, which you can get 5% a week and still covered call. And the computer programs have gotten, the trading platforms have gotten so much better, and the commissions are virtually disappearing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just amazing. I'm
Yeah.
on a pretty good platform application here.
Yeah.
And, I can trade multiple trips with my little finger. So it's just so different. So different.
You can even do it on your phone.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. It's better than going to Las Vegas because at least you have some chance of winning against the house. That's for sure.
There you go. There you go. Well, that's just absolutely fantastic. Well, are you glad to be retired now?
I'm getting used to it. I couldn't say the R word there for the longest time, but they made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Well, it's only been 2 days. What do you mean you're getting used to it? It's only been 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just
the thing I like is I've got breathing room. I can between one appointment and another appointment. At least I can sit down and think about things. Whereas before you just were in a reactionary mode all the time. So.
Well, that was a pretty huge job managing a portfolio at that bank.
Yeah.
I mean that was a huge job. Do you have any questions you might want to ask any of these folks?
I was just calling in to listen in. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm signed up for the credit spreads. I must confess I have not yet read the material.
Uh-huh.
Get onto that. So my next big thing is going to get my arms around the credit spreads.
Well, that's Keith. That's a remnant of yours, isn't it? Credit spreads.
That's
Keith,
what.
I was asking Keith, who's on here, and Keith does our credit spread service, or he has sort of modified version of it. Is that right, Keith?
Yeah, Joe. Yep. Definitely do that. And we'll be having another weekend seminar coming up in October for that.
Okay. And yeah. Just so she'll know, what are your returns on average in this year on that, Keith?
This year, I'm probably up around 50 to 60%, something like that for the year.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you said, puts are completely different from calls. So it's like driving 60 miles backwards. I've got to figure out.
Well, no, you remember all those things I said. You know, you would have to have you on the seminar sometime. You can report. You can do notable quotes by Joe. You know. No. Hey, guys, that's what I used to say. I used to say, doing a put is like driving backwards on the freeway at 60 miles an hour. You know, just total.
Yeah. But it's a different mindset. It's a complete different mindset. Now you just have to. And now that I'm older, my brain doesn't work like it used to. So I have to coax it along.
Well, that's why they've gotten more automated and they're simpler than they used to be.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and call the office and find out about when Keith has that next seminar. And even if you want to ask Cezanne, anybody here any questions, but Cezanne and Joni, of course, have their micro moments, and they're up about 100 and it was Dirk. What about 115, 120% for the year, first 8 months, something like that.
107 was the last I saw published.
Yeah. That was through August.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. And how long do you have to? I don't want to spend 8 hours a day looking at a computer. Can you do it?
No. Hey, you need to do the macro moments. You know how long they only trade the first 10 or 15 minutes of the market when it opens, and their average trade probably 5 to 10 seconds long, in and out, through for the day, quit.
Oh, gee. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I mean, like you say, you're doing the longer trades, which are the more traditional covered calls, and
Yeah.
No, if you just want to spend a few minutes a day, and you can listen to you get 2 weeks free of listening to their seminar 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. A long one on Thursdays, and their charts are up on your screen. You see what they're doing. You get their quotes, which you get them by email, which is not a good way to get them, but they pop up on your screen. And they also pop up on your cell phone. So, and you can just follow right along with them, and you're in and out within minutes. they've had one loss, 3% loss in through the first 8 months of the year. So,
okay. So what I'll do is I'll give the office a call,
okay,
and see if I can join that, and that will be definitely a step in the right direction.
okay, we have to do it. And thank you so much for calling in. It's been great talking to you.
Same here, Joe.
Bye bye.
Talk to you again. Are you going to continue on, or should I stay on the phone, or is it?
Sure. Yeah. No. Yeah. You can stay on there. Sure. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be here a little bit longer. Dirk, what do we have coming up in your department? Any great, exciting new innovations or charting or anything?
No, nothing too exciting right now. Just plugging away at getting all the charting migrated over to the new platform for us. So,
Okay.
we got the advanced charting done, and that's finally got settled down. So we're working on the other products right now, but it's a very time-consuming effort.
People don't understand how the area, the backroom area that Dirk's in is so confusing, and it's so difficult to keep all that stuff coordinated, and companies that feed us this data are always changing stuff, and it's just miraculous that the stuff runs every day, with very few breakdowns as it is. But I guess Dirk it does that so much because they keep simplifying things and making things simpler, but in the process, it messes up what you have,
Yeah, well, our biggest issue these days is all the new focus on online security.
Yep.
Making sure that the online certs are correct, and making sure we're compliant with all the rules on how we take credit card information, and we have to maintain compliance with all those new laws and rules. So we're constantly upgrading and making sure that we have the latest and greatest out there for our clients.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, and incredible. Okay. Unless somebody has something else, we'll kind of call it a day. Appreciate our call in there. And anything else? No? Okay. Joni, I hope you weathered the rain okay. Don't get out in.
I really hope the people on the Carolina coast, I hope they do okay.
Okay, good. Okay, well, thanks, everybody. Keith, I appreciate
Right.
you. And you're going to be able to do these from anywhere now.
That's right. That's right.
You could probably do it from an airplane that has Wi-Fi, right?
Probably could.
Okay. We'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.
Have a good week, everybody.